the city of Terra never slept. Beneath the dazzling array of neon lights, towering skyscrapers dominated the skyline, their surfaces alive with advertisements and holographic displays. Flying vehicles zipped through the air, crisscrossing above the crowded streets. Pedestrians moved like rivers of data through this urban jungle, each individual part of the greater whole, each with their own secrets. Hidden deep within this glowing, bustling city was Iris Ward. Once a brilliant scientist employed by the Temporal Security Commission, she now lived a life shrouded in secrecy. Her secluded lab, tucked away in the forgotten recesses of Terra, was a sanctuary of advanced technology and whispered rebellions. The walls of her lab were lined with screens displaying streams of data, holographic projections flickering with potential futures. Iris herself was a woman transformed by grief and determination. Her partner, Leo, had been lost in a temporal accident, a loss that haunted her every waking moment and fueled her every action. The Iris of today was a far cry from the compliant scientist she once was. Now, she was driven by a singular purpose, to change the past and save Leo. Months of relentless research and experimentation had finally paid off. Iris stood in her lab, her eyes locked on the small, glowing device in her hand. It was no larger than a portable data pad, but it held the power to alter time itself. The culmination of countless sleepless nights and countless failed experiments, this quantum device was her ticket to a different future. She recalled the moment of breakthrough vividly. The quantum particles had aligned perfectly, resonating in a way that allowed for temporal manipulation. It had taken all her skill and knowledge to harness this power, to create something that could actually change the past. As she held the device, a mix of awe and determination filled her. This was her chance to save Leo, to correct the wrongs of the past. But Iris knew she couldn't do this alone. The heist she was planning required more than just scientific expertise. It required a team, individuals with unique skills and a willingness to defy the Temporal Security Commission. Iris spent the next few days sending out encrypted messages to potential allies. Each message was carefully crafted, outlining the high-risk, high-reward nature of the mission. She spoke of the oppressive control of the Commission, the possibility of changing history, and the chance to make a real difference. She promised not just a reward, but a chance at redemption, at making things right. The first response came from Kai, a notorious hacker known for his ability to break into the most secure systems. Iris found him in the Neon District, a part of the city known for its vibrant nightlife and dangerous undercurrents. Kai's apartment was a chaotic mess of screens and wires, but his eyes were sharp and his mind sharper. "I got your message," Kai said as Iris entered. "It's risky, but I like risky. Count me in." Next was Zara, a master of disguise. She met Iris in a crowded marketplace, blending seamlessly with the throngs of people. Disguised as a street vendor, she handed Iris a coded chip along with a bag of fruit. "I'm in," Zara whispered before vanishing into the crowd. In a dimly lit bar, Iris found Alex, a former military strategist. Over a drink, they discussed the plan. Alex's tactical mind quickly identified potential pitfalls and opportunities. "We'll need precise coordination," Alex noted, his demeanor serious yet confident. "But I'm with you." The final members were Jax and Mira, twins known for their skills in physical combat and acrobatics. Iris tracked them down to an underground fight club. Their performance was a display of sheer prowess, leaving the audience in awe. After their match, they approached Iris with knowing smiles. "We heard you have a job for us," Jax said, his tone both playful and dangerous. The team was now assembled, and the time had come to lay out the plan. In a secret underground location, far from prying eyes, they gathered around a holographic display of the Temporal Security Commission's headquarters. Iris took a deep breath and began. "We're going to infiltrate the Temporal Security Commission's headquarters, extract a fragment of time, and expose their corruption. It won't be easy, and it's incredibly dangerous. But if we succeed, we can change everything." The room was silent as the gravity of her words sank in. Each member of the team understood the risks, but they also saw the potential for something greater. A chance to defy the Commission, to rewrite history, and to achieve a measure of justice. Kai leaned forward, eyes gleaming with excitement. "Let's get started." And so, the plan was set in motion. The greatest heist in the history of Terra was about to begin. The neon district of Terra was a place where danger and opportunity walked hand in hand. It was a vibrant mosaic of lights, sounds, and people, where illicit deals were made in the shadows and fortunes were won and lost in the blink of an eye. Iris moved through the crowded streets, her senses heightened by the energy of the place. She had a mission, and every step brought her closer to its fulfillment. Kai's apartment was their first meeting point. As Iris climbed the narrow stairs, the sounds of the city faded, replaced by the quiet hum of technology. Kai's door opened at her knock, and she stepped inside, taking in the tangle of screens and hardware. "It's good to see you, Iris," Kai said, motioning her to a seat. "I've already started mapping out the Commission's security systems. It's a labyrinth, but nothing I can't handle." Iris nodded, grateful for his confidence. "We need to stay under the radar. The Commission has eyes everywhere." Kai grinned, a glint of excitement in his eyes. "Don't worry. By the time I'm done, they won't know what hit them." Next, Iris headed to the marketplace to find Zara. The air was thick with the scents of exotic foods and the sounds of haggling vendors. Zara blended seamlessly into her surroundings, selling trinkets from a small stall. When Iris approached, Zara slipped her a coated chip and a smile. "Everything's set," Zara whispered. "I've got a few new identities lined up for us. The Commission won't see us coming." In a dimly lit bar, Iris found Alex seated in a corner booth, his sharp eyes scanning the room. They discussed the plan over drinks, Alex's tactical mind dissecting every detail. "We'll need precise coordination," Alex noted. "Timing will be everything. One misstep, and we're done." Iris nodded. "That's why I need you. Your experience will keep us on track." Their final destination was the underground fight club, where Jax and Mira were performing. The twins moved with lethal grace, their acrobatics and combat skills dazzling the audience. After the match, they found Iris backstage, their energy still crackling in the air. "We're ready for action," Jax said, his grin wide. Mira nodded, her eyes sparkling. "Just point us in the right direction." The team was assembled, but the real challenge lay ahead. In a hidden underground bunker, they gathered around a holographic display of the Temporal Security Commission's headquarters. The air was thick with anticipation. Iris took a deep breath. "We're going to infiltrate the Temporal Security Commission's headquarters, extract a fragment of time, and expose their corruption. It won't be easy, and it's incredibly dangerous. But if we succeed, we can change everything." The room fell silent, each member of the team absorbing the gravity of her words. They knew the risks, but they also saw the potential for something greater, a chance to defy the Commission, rewrite history, and achieve justice. Kai leaned forward, eyes gleaming. "Let's get started." With the plan set in motion, the greatest heist in the history of Terra was about to begin. The stakes were high, but the reward, a chance to change the past and save Leo, was worth every risk. Terra's urban landscape was a sprawling, interconnected maze. Skyscrapers reached into the sky, connected by a web of aerial walkways and tunnels that twisted through the city like a giant spider's web. The Temporal Security Commission's headquarters loomed in the distance, an imposing structure of glass and steel, heavily fortified and bristling with security measures. From his hidden command center, Kai's fingers danced over his portable console. His eyes flicked between multiple screens displaying security feeds, system statuses, and encryption protocols. "We're clear for now," he said into his comm link. "But we need to keep moving." The team moved through the shadows, guided by Kai's voice in their earpieces. Each step was a calculated risk, each corner a potential ambush. Iris felt her heart race, but she kept her focus, her mind locked on the mission. Zara led the way, her disguise impeccable. Dressed as a high-ranking Commission official, she moved with confidence, her face a mask of authority. Guards and staff members barely glanced at her as she guided the team through restricted areas. Her ability to blend in was their key to bypassing the initial layers of security. In the background, Alex monitored their progress, coordinating movements and adjusting their route as needed. His tactical expertise was invaluable, anticipating potential threats and devising countermeasures on the fly. "Take the next left," he instructed. "There's a maintenance corridor that should get you closer to the central chamber." The team's anxiety grew with each passing moment. The closer they got to the heart of the Commission's headquarters, the higher the stakes became. Every shadow seemed to hold a threat, every sound a potential alarm. They moved with the precision of a well-rehearsed dance, each member playing their part flawlessly. Finally, they reached the inner sanctum of the headquarters. Kai had disabled the primary security systems, but the door before them was still a formidable barrier. Iris stepped forward, her hands trembling slightly as she connected her quantum device to the door's control panel. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a soft hum, the door slid open, revealing the chamber beyond. The team slipped inside, their senses on high alert. The chamber was a stark contrast to the rest of the facility. It was a pristine, high-tech room filled with advanced equipment and glowing with an otherworldly light. In the center of the room, suspended in a containment field, was the temporal fragment, a glowing orb of pure energy. Iris felt a surge of emotion as she approached the fragment. This was it. The key to changing the past, to saving Leo. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for what was to come. The moment they disrupted the containment field, alarms blared throughout the facility. Red lights flashed, and a piercing siren filled the air. The team sprang into action, their training and instincts taking over. Jax and Mira positioned themselves at the entrance, ready to fend off the inevitable wave of Commission agents. Their movements were fluid and precise, a deadly dance of combat and acrobatics. Zara used her quick thinking to create diversions, triggering false alarms in other parts of the building to draw attention away from their location. Alex, positioned near Iris, kept a close watch on their surroundings, his mind racing with strategies and contingencies. "Hold your positions," he shouted. "We need more time." Amidst the chaos, Iris focused on the extraction. Her hands moved with a surgeon's precision, her mind blocking out the noise and danger. The quantum device hummed softly as she manipulated it, carefully freeing the fragment from its containment. With a final adjustment, the fragment was free. Iris held it in her hands, its energy pulsing softly. "I've got it," she shouted, her voice filled with triumph and relief. The team's escape was a desperate race against time. Agents pursued them relentlessly through the labyrinthine facility. Every corner turned, every door breached was a gamble. Kai provided updates and directions, his voice a steady guide amidst the chaos. Using a combination of cunning tactics and brute force, they navigated the facility. Kai manipulated security systems to create false trails, while Jax and Mira took down any agents who got too close. Zara's diversions continued to buy them precious seconds, and Alex's coordination ensured they moved as one cohesive unit. Reaching the exit, Iris activated the quantum device. A blinding light enveloped the team, transporting them back to Terra. The last thing they saw was the furious faces of the Commission agents, just before everything went white. The transition was instantaneous. One moment, they were in the heart of the Commission's headquarters. The next, they were back in Terra, standing in the alleyway behind Iris's lab. The blinding light faded, leaving them disoriented but exhilarated. They had done it. The temporal fragment was theirs, and the first step of their mission was complete. But they knew this was just the beginning. The hardest part was yet to come. As the blinding light dissipated, the team found themselves back in the familiar surroundings of Iris's lab. The euphoria of their initial success quickly gave way to the sobering realization of what lay ahead. The temporal fragment, a glowing orb of pure energy, pulsed gently in Iris's hands. It was a symbol of their victory, but also a reminder of the danger that still loomed. "We don't have much time," Iris said, her voice tinged with urgency. "We need to analyze this fragment and prepare for the next phase." The team dispersed, each member falling into their roles with practiced efficiency. Kai set up his equipment, ready to hack into the Commission's network. Zara and Alex reviewed the security footage they had captured, looking for weaknesses they could exploit. Jax and Mira stood guard, their eyes scanning the perimeter for any signs of trouble. Iris placed the fragment into a specialized containment unit, its energy fields aligning perfectly with the device she had built. The room hummed with power as the analysis began. Data streamed across the screens, and Iris's fingers flew over the controls, deciphering the complex temporal signatures. "Got it," she muttered to herself, a triumphant smile spreading across her face. "We can use this to reveal the Commission's secrets. But we'll need to be fast. They'll be looking for us." Kai nodded, his eyes glued to his screens. "I'm already in their system. They're scrambling, trying to figure out what happened. We've got a small window before they tighten their security." The team's next target was the heart of the Commission's data storage facility, a place where all their secrets were kept. It was a fortress of information, heavily guarded and nearly impenetrable. But with Kai's skills and the temporal fragment, they had a chance. Alex laid out the plan, his voice calm and authoritative. "We'll split into 2 teams. Kai and I will handle the security systems and create distractions. Zara, Jax, and Mira will infiltrate the data center and extract the information we need. Iris, you'll stay here and coordinate everything. Once we have the data, we regroup and broadcast it to the galaxy." The facility was a maze of corridors and security checkpoints. Kai and Alex moved with precision, disabling cameras and rerouting security protocols. Their path was methodical, each step calculated to avoid detection. Meanwhile, Zara, Jax, and Mira slipped through the shadows, their movements fluid and silent. Zara's disguises allowed them to pass through restricted areas unnoticed, while Jax and Mira provided backup, their combat skills at the ready. As they approached the central data core, tension mounted. The air was thick with anticipation and the faint hum of electronic systems. The central core was a massive structure, filled with servers and data storage units, all protected by layers of security. Kai initiated a series of false alarms in different parts of the facility, drawing security forces away from the core. "We've got their attention," he said over the comm link. "You're clear to move in." Zara led Jax and Mira into the data core, her disguise fooling the guards at the entrance. Inside, the room was filled with the low hum of servers and the blinking lights of data terminals. They moved quickly, Zara accessing the main terminal while Jax and Mira kept watch. "We're in," Zara reported, her fingers flying over the keyboard. "Starting the data extraction." Alex monitored the facility's security feeds, coordinating their movements and adjusting their plan as needed. "Heads up, team," he warned. "We've got incoming. Security is converging on your position." The sound of footsteps echoed through the corridors as security forces closed in. Jax and Mira prepared for the inevitable confrontation, their bodies tense and ready. As the first wave of guards appeared, they sprang into action. Jax's movements were a blur of strength and agility, his fists connecting with precision. Mira moved with equal grace, her acrobatics disorienting the guards and giving her the upper hand. Together, they formed an unstoppable force, holding the line as Zara continued her work. "We've got it," Zara exclaimed, the data transfer complete. "Let's move." With the data in hand, the team began their retreat. Kai's distractions had bought them time, but the facility was now on high alert. They moved swiftly, retracing their steps through the labyrinthine corridors. As they reached the exit, they encountered a final security checkpoint. The guards were heavily armed and prepared for a fight. Alex and Kai joined Jax and Mira, the team working together to overcome this last obstacle. The battle was intense, but their combined skills and determination saw them through. With the last guard down, they burst through the exit and into the relative safety of the city. Back in the alleyway behind Iris's lab, they activated the quantum device. The blinding light once again enveloped them, transporting them to a secure location. They arrived in a hidden safe house, the adrenaline of the escape still coursing through their veins. Iris was waiting for them, her face a mix of relief and determination. "We did it," she said, her voice filled with hope. "We have the data. Now we can reveal the truth to the galaxy." The team gathered around the data terminals, ready to broadcast the Commission's secrets. The hardest part of their mission was over, but they knew that the fight for justice was just beginning. The hidden safe house buzzed with activity as Iris and her team prepared to broadcast the damning evidence they had extracted from the Temporal Security Commission. The atmosphere was tense, filled with the urgency of their mission and the looming threat of discovery. Iris worked furiously at her terminal, her fingers a blur on the keyboard as she compiled the data and prepared it for transmission. The temporal fragment, safely housed in its containment unit, glowed softly beside her. "We need to get this out now," she said, her voice steady despite the pressure. The longer we wait, the more likely they'll find us. Kai was already deep into the Commission's network, creating false trails and diversions to buy them time. His face was lit by the glow of his screens, a look of intense concentration etched into his features. "I'm keeping them busy," he reported. "But it won't last. They're catching on faster than I expected." Zara, her sharp eyes scanning multiple feeds, kept watch for any signs of approaching threats. "We've got movement on the south side," she warned. "Looks like they're closing in." Alex, ever the strategist, assessed their situation with a calm detachment. "We need an exit plan," he said, his mind already mapping out their escape routes. "Jax, Mira, get ready to hold them off if they get too close. Zara, you and I will cover Iris and Kai." Jax and Mira took up positions near the entrance, their bodies coiled like springs, ready to explode into action at a moment's notice. The twins shared a look of determination, their silent communication honed by years of fighting side by side. Finally, Iris finished her preparations. "We're ready," she announced, her voice cutting through the tension. "Kai, start the broadcast." Kai's fingers flew over his keyboard, initiating the transmission. Data streamed from their terminals, beaming out across the galaxy. The truth about the Temporal Security Commission's corruption, their oppressive control, and the lies they had built their power on was now public. As the broadcast went live, the safe house was suddenly bathed in red light. An alarm blared, signaling that their location had been compromised. "They found us," Zara shouted. "We need to move, now." The team sprang into action, their movements a blur of precision and speed. Iris grabbed the temporal fragment, securing it in a protective case. Kai initiated a series of fail-safe protocols, ensuring their data would continue to broadcast even if they were captured. Using a combination of their skills, the team navigated the labyrinthine safe house. Kai continued to monitor and disrupt the Commission's systems, creating chaos and confusion. Zara led the way, her keen instincts guiding them through hidden passages and secret exits. As they neared the exit, they encountered a squad of Commission agents. The fight was brutal and swift, Jax and Mira dispatching their opponents with deadly efficiency. Alex and Zara provided cover, their weapons trained on the remaining agents. "Go!" Jax shouted, his voice filled with urgency. "We'll hold them off." Iris, Kai, and Alex made a break for the exit, the temporal fragment safe in Iris's hands. The air outside was filled with the sounds of sirens and shouting, the city alive with the chaos of their rebellion. Once clear of the immediate danger, Iris activated the quantum device. The blinding light enveloped them, transporting them to a new location, one that Kai had prepared as a secondary safe house. The transition was disorienting, but they emerged unscathed. The new safe house was a stark contrast to the chaos they had just escaped. It was quiet, secure, and filled with the hum of advanced technology. The team took a moment to catch their breath, the adrenaline slowly ebbing away. "We did it," Iris said, her voice a mix of exhaustion and triumph. "The broadcast is out. The galaxy knows the truth." As the team settled into their new surroundings, a familiar figure stepped out from the shadows. Leo, alive and well, walked towards Iris. Her heart skipped a beat, tears welling up in her eyes as she ran to him. "Iris," Leo said, his voice filled with emotion. "You did it. You really did it." They embraced, the weight of their journey finally lifting. For a moment, the world stood still, and all that mattered was that they were together again. Despite their victory, the threat of the Temporal Security Commission remained. The organization was weakened, but not defeated. The team knew they had to stay vigilant, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. "We've exposed them," Alex said, his voice resolute. "But they won't go down without a fight. We need to be prepared for whatever comes next." Iris nodded, her resolve stronger than ever. "We'll be ready," she said, her hand clasping Leo's. "Together, we'll see this through to the end." The team gathered around the central table, the glow of the temporal fragment casting long shadows on their faces. They had won a crucial battle, but the war was far from over. With Leo back by her side, Iris felt a renewed sense of hope and determination. They were ready to lead the galaxy into a new dawn, one where the oppressive control of the Temporal Security Commission was a thing of the past. The future was theirs to shape, and they would do so together, against all odds. The new safe house, though secure and well-equipped, was a temporary haven. The team needed to regroup and strategize their next move. Terra outside was changing rapidly. The broadcast had sent shockwaves through the city and the galaxy at large. The Temporal Security Commission's power was visibly crumbling, but remnants of their control still posed significant threats. The streets of Terra buzzed with activity, protests, and celebrations as the public reacted to the revelations. The once intimidating presence of the Commission's enforcers was now met with defiance and resistance. The city's vibrant energy was now charged with a sense of newfound freedom and purpose. Inside the safe house, Iris and Leo's reunion brought a sense of personal victory amidst the larger conflict. Leo's presence was a tangible reminder of what they were fighting for. His return was a beacon of hope, a symbol of what could be reclaimed from the past. Iris couldn't help but smile as she looked at Leo, alive and standing before her. "I can't believe you're here," she said, her voice breaking with emotion. "I thought I had lost you forever." Leo smiled back, his eyes filled with the same mix of disbelief and joy. "You brought me back," he said simply. "And now we have a chance to make things right." Despite their personal victories, the team knew they couldn't rest. The Temporal Security Commission, though weakened, was still a formidable adversary. Their resources, connections, and remnants of loyalists posed ongoing dangers. Alex, ever the strategist, was quick to remind the team of their precarious situation. "We've exposed them, but they'll retaliate. We need to stay ahead of them, anticipate their moves." Kai nodded, his fingers already working on his console. "I'm monitoring their communications. They're scrambling, but they're not out yet. We need to be ready for anything." Zara added, "We've hit them hard, but they're like a wounded animal now. Desperate and dangerous." Iris stood at the center of the group, the temporal fragment safely encased in front of her. "We need to keep the pressure on," she said, her voice steady and filled with resolve. "We have the evidence. Now we need to ensure it reaches every corner of the galaxy." Leo stepped forward, his presence adding weight to Iris's words. "We also need to protect ourselves. We can't let the Commission take us out one by one." The team set up a more permanent network to continue broadcasting the Commission's secrets. Kai worked tirelessly, ensuring their signal was strong and could reach the farthest planets. Zara and Alex coordinated with underground networks and rebel groups, spreading the information and rallying support. The public's reaction was swift and powerful. The truth about the Temporal Security Commission's corruption fueled widespread rebellion. Cities across the galaxy saw uprisings, protests, and demands for justice. The once feared commission found itself facing a galaxy united against it. As the days turned into weeks, the commission's hold on power weakened significantly. High-ranking officials were exposed and arrested, their crimes laid bare for all to see. The public's call for justice echoed through the stars, and a new era of freedom began to take shape. Despite their successes, the team knew the Commission wouldn't go down without a fight. In one final bid for power, remnants of the Commission launched a coordinated attack on key rebel positions, hoping to regain control. The team, now well prepared and supported by a growing network of allies, responded swiftly. They coordinated counterattacks, using the information they had gathered to outmaneuver and dismantle the remaining Commission forces. Jax and Mira led the charge on the ground, their combat skills turning the tide in favor of the rebels. Kai's cyber warfare disrupted the Commission's communications, leaving them vulnerable and disorganized. Zara's infiltration skills ensured that key targets were neutralized efficiently. Iris and Leo, now reunited and stronger together, led the strategic efforts. Their combined knowledge and passion inspired those around them. They were no longer just fighting for their own personal victory, but for a future where time was respected and freedom was cherished. With the fall of the last strongholds, the Temporal Security Commission's reign came to an end. The galaxy began to rebuild, guided by principles of justice and transparency. The final broadcast was the most significant. It not only detailed the Commission's downfall but also provided a blueprint for a new future. A future where time was no longer a weapon but a shared resource. Iris, standing before the camera, addressed the galaxy. "We have seen what unchecked power can do. The Temporal Security Commission thought they could control time and with it, control us. But we have proven that truth and justice are stronger. Together, we can build a future where everyone is free to chart their own destiny. The broadcast resonated deeply with the public. Across the galaxy, people celebrated their newfound freedom. The Commission's secrets had incited a rebellion, but it was the hope of a better future that united them all. As the last of the Commission's loyalists were apprehended, the galaxy began to heal. New leaders emerged, ones who valued transparency, accountability, and the well-being of their people. The fall of the Commission marked the beginning of a new era. With the Commission defeated and Leo by her side, Iris reflected on their journey. They had faced insurmountable odds and emerged victorious. Their bond had been tested and strengthened, and the lessons they had learned were invaluable. "We did it," Iris said softly, looking out at the sunrise over Terra. "We changed the future." Leo squeezed her hand, his eyes filled with pride and love. "Together," he said. "And we'll face whatever comes next, together." The galaxy was changing, moving towards a future filled with hope and possibility. The scars of the past would take time to heal, but with leaders like Iris and Leo, there was a newfound sense of optimism. As the sun rose over Terra, casting its golden light over the city, Iris and Leo stood together, looking towards the horizon. The future was theirs to shape, and they were ready to lead the galaxy into a new dawn, prepared to face new challenges and opportunities together. The celestial heist had been more than just a mission, it had been a journey of redemption, hope, and the unyielding power of love and determination. If you enjoyed this thrilling adventure, we have another sci-fi story that you're going to love. Click on the video suggested on your screen to dive into another captivating tale from Sci-Fi Story Vault. Don't miss out on the next exciting chapter of our universe.